People often ask me, what is the goal of parenting? I think the goal is really simple. The goal of parenting is to teach our kids to survive in our absence so that when we die, they don't have to die with us. So when you're instructing your kids, and you could use the word disciplining if you want, but it's heavy and it's weighted and it's loaded. But when you're instructing them to practice into the world to become the man and woman they need to be to survive in your absence. You're teaching them all these things and you're rehearsing with them and they're scripting it and they're doing it over and over again. So small things like when you're at a restaurant, you have them say the right things. You have them order their food. And if the food isn't done right, you mirror for them ways in which you do it appropriately, but you send the food back. And I know that this sounds really small and people think this is meaningless, but this is an opportunity for teaching. Every day and every encounter, you are teaching your children, you're inviting them to practice into the world that best self that they will be. You have to see that best self for them. Before they can even see it for themselves, you see the young man and woman that is yet to be born into the world, the one that will survive in your absence. That is the goal. So let's say you're at a restaurant and your food, and it comes back, right? And it's overcooked. You have a couple options, right, guys? You could eat it, right? You could eat that food. And then your kids see you eat the food that you didn't order and it's not cooked the way you want. And then you mirror for them to be small, sick, or less. And I know you guys are going to say, this is bullshit. You're just talking about a restaurant. But I'm talking about who you are as practice into the world in every single scene of your life. And it's not just the big shit that matters. It's the little shit that adds up to become the big stuff. Because if you don't step forward for the little shit, where are you when the big stuff comes? When you're really tested, when your moral character is tested, where are you? Life is going to be filled with adversity. It's filled with it for all of us. Every single one of us will face the inevitability of loss and death and suffering. But it's your orientation to suffering that matters. And when you lean into the challenges of life, you can transcend them and you can become adaptive and stronger and more prepared. Early on, I used to want to protect my kids from every little bump and bruise, and I just didn't want them to experience it. But I learned over time they had to take on these challenges so that someday, when I'm not there, they're prepared.